So pool parties in Atlanta, they no one swims. It is a fashion show. It's there for your use, and putting your feet in is cute, but if you're actually having a pool party, you're not swimming. You're more so talking. You have your cocktails. You're showing off this body that you've been working on all winter.
Yeah.
Definite fashion show.
Hey everyone, I'm Arjun, and welcome to the 4th episode of My First Sale, the podcast where I take you under the hood to see what all you need to do to start your own e-commerce business. We're going to hear from people who are right in the thick of it, and I'm honored to welcome my 4th guest of the show, Keturah Daniel. If you want to start by just sort of giving some idea of like what your business does.
Torie Square is a swimwear boutique. What I do is I don't design anything as of now, but that's going to be coming in the future. So I basically curate a collection of items that I like from different vendors. I kind of have my business to where it's along the travel lifestyle. So of course people that are going to beaches, they want to come by and look at my site, find a nice swimsuit. But I go into cover-ups as well, and also athleisure. So the athleisure is so that when the weather's not so warm in your hometown, you still have something that you can shop for. And as well, I think that athleisure is very comfortable to travel in.
For sure.
So I'm still bringing that travel element into the business. But yeah, I kind of cater to women that are fit or live the fit and travel lifestyle. So.
That's awesome. So how long have you been working on Torie Square?
About a year.
Okay.
So it's very new, but the idea has been there for years, honestly.
Okay.
I didn't know where to start. I was kind of expecting it to be more outside of my spending at the time. So, yeah, I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't really know how, it was one of those things like, okay, well, I know I can go to the apparel mart and with a business license and buy from vendors and then sell, but what's the other part of that?
Right.
And, I had so much going on, I guess I didn't really dig into the research about how to get into that.
Yeah.
So it was just an idea that I just didn't know how to manifest.
Yeah. So how did you learn about that? Because I know as an end consumer, I think that we tend to think a lot less about where the products we buy come from, especially clothes.
Right.
There's so many different steps in the process before it actually gets to the online store or the real life store. And I know you mentioned that currently you don't make your own pieces, is that right?
Right.
So where do you get them from?
So interestingly enough, I've worked at the apparel mart here in Atlanta just for different events. Mm-hmm. So, that kind of like, this is where everybody's getting their stuff from. Right? And it's cheap, or a lot cheaper than, I buy from vendors.
Okay.
And there's actually an apparel show coming up in 2 weeks. So I'll be over there seeing if there's some new vendors to buy from.
Very cool. And how do you pick which vendors you want to buy from? Is it just based on...
Yeah, really just their style, what I like. Not as much their personality, but of course if I have a bad, if they're like, don't pay me, I'm like, because you can find it somewhere else probably. Yeah. But yeah, just what I like and their style.
So what's your go-to style, or like what type of swimwear are you really trying to create a brand for?
So things that look flattering even if you don't have a perfect body.
Okay. Because
I don't want to confuse people when I say fit and think that means you have a perfect body, a model type body. Mm-hmm. But I think fit means that you are conscious and that you care and you still want to look nice. So swimwear that just is flattering, and the more flattering styles now, maybe the high-waisted, something that's in, maybe something that may cover a little bit more, but leaves some to the imagination, but it's pretty sexy.
Sure.
So yeah, I just want people to feel confident, but not be boring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want to be bored.
For sure, especially with swimwear.
Yeah. So then also that's why I like kind of bohemian cover-ups, and I'm still playing around with that aspect of the business. But I think too, even with cover-ups, if you can still be kind of fun and flirty with that without, showing it all or feeling like it has to be stiff or boring.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, it sounds like the kinds of pieces that you're going for are, ones that I would imagine are probably pretty in right now.
Right, very trendy. Yeah.
So are there other people who are also like fighting to get those same pieces, or how does that work?
Yeah, so a lot of my competition, I feel like they're making their own. So they have their fabrics are a bit different. But as far as some pieces that I'm dealing with, like even from the vendor, they're like, okay, this is back ordered for.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh my god, what is all the stuff that people are waiting on.
Yeah.
So that can be kind of hard because it's like, okay, who's going to get to the vendor first, or am I going to be able to get this product in?
I think a lot of times when people are starting businesses, there's obviously all the factors involved with the business itself, right? So things around like who's your target market and what kinds of people are actually going to buy your products and stuff like that. And there's also stuff sort of on the personal side, like you need to figure out, okay, how much time do I want to spend on this? Like, what is my family and friends, like, what sort of, how can they support me in this? Or like, are they going to support me in this? I guess at what point did you sort of like have that right combination of ingredients where you realize like, this is what I want to do?
I'm still working on that.
Fair enough.
I think the work-life family balance is a challenge.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't tell many friends about it for a while. Not because I guess I didn't know what kind of support I would need, right?
Right.
And I just wanted to kind of work on it alone. But yeah, it's a lot of nights I'm up late and people don't really understand like what I'm doing because I'm like, I'm working. They're like, yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's hard to explain that I'm surfing the internet and Instagram, but it's work.
Right.
I mean, the same thing with my children. I'm like, I'm working right now. I'm trying to do this. This is very important. Like, you don't get it.
Yeah.
So, and it's hard, too, unless someone is an entrepreneur and they, have built a business that it's like all this stuff that you can't really always put a word on.
Yeah.
Or use one particular word to explain what you're doing and why, it's taking so long or why it just looks like you're playing on your phone. Yeah. But it is very important to what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
It's challenging.
Especially while building a brand like this, it can be important to sort of think about the moment where you realize that this is something that people want, right? And do you remember your first sale and sort of what was that experience like?
Yes, I do remember my first sale because I've been waiting, right?
Yeah.
But it was like, oh my God, it works. Like somebody actually put their credit card in and it works. It was exciting, and not just my first order, but my first multiple piece order.
Yeah.
That was kind of exciting because I'm like, oh, this person kind of went crazy on here.
Yeah.
That's I think that was even a bigger moment than the first sale, but it was,
So did you know who that person was? Or
no.
Like, how did that happen? Like,
so I think that was a result from an Instagram ad.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
I guess in that person's context, like when you saw them buying all that stuff, like did you reach out to them at all? Did you find out sort of like what their, I guess, journey was to find you, or just like, all right, let's get going from here?
So I now have it set up where it's automated, but at that time I actually reached out and said thank you, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
So I didn't dig into it, but just showed my appreciation.
Yeah.
But I guess it was that Instagram. It was the Instagram ad. Yeah, and they were actually she's up north.
Oh, really? So not even local.
So not even local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you also mentioned that Instagram has been really helpful for you guys, right? And that's been a driver of sales in the past. Like, what is your sort of thoughts around Instagram? Like, do you use models or do you use just pictures of the pieces? Like, sort of what is your strategy?
A mix.
There? Okay.
I'm still figuring out what works best, even though I do think that my clients, sending a picture in with like a review and reposting that. You know, people like to see a live person, right? Someone other than a model, even though they may look as good as a model. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes flat lays look good too. And people, you know, so still figuring that out, but I think live is probably is best.
It's best. And when you say live, you mean like a video?
Yeah, so like a video.
Okay. And it's like of them unboxing, trying it on?
Well, not even a try-on, which I need to do. Well, I have a couple try-ons, but just showing them, like, they're at the beach or getting ready to go out, then just doing a quick video.
Gotcha.
Or I had one customer, she was at a Christmas party. It looked like she was at a Christmas party, and she had on some athleisure, the leggings, and she dressed it up really nice with a sweater. Yeah. And I hadn't even thought about that. Like, you know, so things like that, people respond well.
Does that make you interested in also thinking about, like, complementary pieces when you see somebody doing something like that, like sweaters even?
As far as introducing them to the line?
Yeah.
No. No, I don't want to get too crazy with it. I want to keep it with the athleisure, with the leggings and tops. Like this, what I'm wearing today is like a cover-up piece. So that's the part of the athleisure line.
Oh, nice.
So it's not a sport, you know, something I would wear over a sports bra, but I could dress this up, you know. Yeah. The fabric is pretty soft. And so I did kind of veer off of my path.
Right.
Because this jacket is actually, well, yeah, I think I only have one left. It's sold on my store.
Wow. And are you all decked out today at all Torie Square?
Almost. Almost. But, yeah, from the top up. But this jacket, I was like, oh my God, it would complement everything so well. Yeah. And I knew it was a hot item. So I grabbed it up, and literally, I think I took the last box that the vendor had.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, they even took it off the website, because a lot of times vendors will say that it's back ordered, out of stock, but they completely took it off the site, so they blew through it apparently. Oh, wow. But so yeah, I kind of veered off of off the straight path. Right. But you know, I think maybe every once in a while, if I can tie it in somehow and make, you know, just a special feature or something, then. But no, I want to keep focus on the swimwear and athleisure.
A lot of entrepreneurs have felt at some point in their journey is that it's a difficult journey, obviously, right? And sometimes a lot of those difficulties can coincide in a way that it makes you feel like just everything is crashing and burning at the same time. I know I felt this way before. I was curious, have you ever been in that situation, and what did you do to sort of get out of that headspace?
Of course I've been there. You know, I've literally been like, you know what, I should just go back to work. Like for an employer, right? But it's no, that's for like a split second. You know, that's when things are just in the thick and you just want to weigh out. You know, but you talk through that and, you know, just get through it. Because things are hard. It's very expensive. You know, it's expensive. I listen to a lot of motivational speeches on YouTube too. And you just have to put one foot in front of the other, honestly. And, you know, if that means you need to take a break and take a nap or watch a TV show or go hang out with friends and come back to it, one foot in front of the other. You know, I always hear, you know, businesses, you know, probably would have taken it. People were almost to the point of taking off when they gave up, you know? Totally. And whether that's true or not, maybe it was another 5 years or another month and things would have turned around. It's just the fact of, you know, you just don't know. You have to keep going until, you know, there's clear-cut signs that, hey, you have to give it up.
Yeah. Do you have a specific memory in mind when you felt like that?
No, but every couple days, every once in a while, like, it's just like, oh, you know,
it feels.
So,
yeah.
And I shouldn't say every couple of days, but there's times when it's just, it can be overwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think I have people that I talk to on a regular basis that remind me that to do things the right way and so that they pay off. Sometimes it is a slower.
Yeah.
It's a slower journey.
That makes sense. And you mentioned, I think this is something that people really do underestimate, is the expenses that come along with running a business and starting a business, right? I mean, there's so many different aspects that you don't consider until you're actually in the thick of it and you realize you have to pay attention to.
Right.
So, I think that is a barrier for people, right? Is being able to figure out, how am I going to continue to be able to pay rent while I'm building this business? How am I going to be able to continue to buy groceries? Some of the basic stuff.
Right.
So sometimes people go out and seek funding. Is that something that you've done, or how have you thought about?
So I have not yet, but it's not something that have thrown away, or we'll see. We'll see.
What would you say inspires you in this journey? Like what is sort of like every few days when those hard times do hit every now and then, what sort of like helps you push through?
I know I can do it. Sometimes I don't know how, but I think I know enough about people that I can make it work.
Yeah.
There's no reason why I can't.
So where do you see this business going in 5 years?
So I am looking at maybe brick and mortar as being a strong possibility, but just a lot of growth and, definitely shipping internationally.
Okay.
Also, as I mentioned in the beginning, that I'm not designing now, but I will be designing, so that'll be something that's in full force by then.
Yeah.
So, not sketching from, well, who knows? Maybe sketching from scratch, but the first move into that will be just simply almost like using templates and plugging in my preference in fabrics or in colors to make it an exclusive collection. So it will be more exclusive in 5 years and so things that you cannot find anywhere else.
All right, and then the last segment that I think we discussed was basically a rapid fire round.
Okay.
You know the concept, right? It's just, I'm going to throw out a topic, and then you just give me sort of your hot take on that topic. All right, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Amazon?
It can give me a run for my money.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
In what way?
Maybe pricing.
Okay.
My shipping, some of my items ship faster than others, so the shipping also.
Yeah.
That's an area that Amazon can give me a run for my money.
Is that frustrating?
No, I understand it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But it has all of us spoiled.
Right. Right.
So.
Lululemon.
I think they're in a different space than I am, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I like their stuff, but
do you ever wear it?
I do.
Fair enough.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I think that's market research.
I mean, yeah.
So yeah,
it is.
But I think it's overpriced. So I always say, my stuff has a better price point.
Yeah.
Not everyone is looking for that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm in a different space.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess how do you test for the materials and stuff like that? Like do you try on any of the pieces before you send them out?
Oh yeah.
Do you try on all of them?
Yeah, or I have someone else do it, and then I, of course, fill them. But that's the thing. Once again, this is something that I've been doing for a long time.
Right.
So I'm almost like a leisure wear professional.
Yeah, seriously.
Or I like to say a legging snob. Because I wear a lot of, I've tried a lot of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of know, and then I always know there's some people that will just wear anything.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. absolutely.
So, yeah, they're competition, and they have brand loyalty, but I'm in a different space, and I'm going to build my own brand loyalty.
There you go. In-home athletics, like Peloton, stuff like that, versus out-of-home athletics, like SoulCycle, stuff like that.
I love both.
Do you feel like your target market is better addressed by one or the other?
Good question. I think when people are going out, they care more about what they look like. But there's also some that want to look good no matter where they're at. So I would go more towards people that are going out, doing exercise outside the home.
Right. That makes sense. Pools versus beaches.
That's the question I always ask on my Instagram.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, jeez. I'll go with beaches.
Yeah? You think it's better for business also?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it similar to the in-home, out-of-home thing where you think like more people are seeing you, it's more of a show-off thing?
Yeah, because I think if you're going to a beach, then you want to, you're more apt to get something new. Or if you're just going to, the pool, you're like, oh, this is cute. Let me put this on.
Yeah, that makes sense. Models
make. They make, to me, they make the ad.
Yeah.
But of course, I see a lot of the country moving towards where they want models that don't look like a typical model,
right?
Which is fine too,
right?
But once again, models are just they're showing off the product.
Yeah.
So that's very important to my business.
Instagram influencers. Have you ever worked with an influencer?
I have, and actually, I'm looking for a couple more now. But yeah, they're so important, very important to my business.
And you had a good experience with the one that you worked with?
Yes, I've worked with a couple ones that were wanting to be influencers, but they're just not quite there yet. Right. So that's one thing that can be difficult, is when you're looking for influencers, making sure you go through the checklist of what actually makes them an influencer if they're growing, up and coming, and not already established.
Right. Pool parties in Atlanta.
Okay. So pool parties in Atlanta, they no one swims. It is a fashion show.
Okay.
So, I think if you go further down south, then it's about swimming. But here also Lake Lanier, there's a lot of boat parties there.
Yeah.
That's stemming away from your pool party, but definite fashion show. So
interesting. I mean, I guess being one of the few big cities in the U.S. that isn't adjacent to an ocean or a river or something like that, like, I guess pools maybe like the place that people go to, you would think, when they're in the summer or they're trying to get some water experience. Right.
It's like you want to have that aesthetic, right? It's there for your use, and putting your feet in is cute, but if you're actually having a pool party, you're not swimming. You're more so talking. You have your cocktails. You're showing off this body that you've been working on all winter.
Yeah.
So it's about what you're wearing. It's about your hair.
Yeah. What about like summer diets? People who are doing. This is something that a couple of my friends were mentioning, where like throughout the whole spring season, whenever they're like drinking and stuff, they'll only drink the liquor mixed with water. Like they'll drink like shot, like vodka waters, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. Or I have friends that they'll do like a vodka water, but they'll do the like the Crystal Light packets or flavors.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
all for swimsuit season.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, because they don't want those extra calories.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could do shots, but yeah, you want to look good in your swimwear and heels if that's what you're doing.
I know.
So
yeah,
there's festival season where people. The festival wear can be little or nothing. Little, well, No, not nothing. Little to nothing, basically. Close to nothing. So swimwear kind of ties in with that too, and the cover-ups. Actually, I have one cover-up now that I'm pushing, and I'm using hashtag Coachella 2020 because it's very much a Coachella vibe. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's another place that Atlantans kind of use their swimwear.
Yeah.
It's because they're more dressed down. It's really hot here. So,
yeah. Is there like an age group that you particularly target?
So my target market for as far as age group is like 25 to 40.
Okay.
And once again, that's why kind of fit comes into that or the fitness conscious. But of course, I've seen a lot of movement from 18 to 22 as well.
Okay.
So I know they're looking.
Right.
They're looking and purchasing.
How did you decide upon that first range, 25 to 40?
Well, because some of my price points are a little bit higher.
Mm-hmm.
So just to kind of take me out of the realm too, with like Forever 21.
Right, right.
So I went with a higher, then once again, a little bit more conservative look.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But it turns out that some of those younger people are still interested anyways.
Right.
And going back to the festival thing for a second, I don't know if you've gone in the past or recently to any festivals here in Atlanta. This past year I went to Music Midtown, mm-hmm. and like, first of all, it was ridiculously hot.
Right.
It was like 90 plus degrees every day. So very much in tune with your description of people wearing swimwear, right?
Right.
But also the surprising thing to me was that it was very young, the crowd there. So it was like there were a lot more high schoolers there than I expected, actually. Which I guess probably ties into the fact that like people of that age group are also starting to get interested in your products. So
yeah, I do feel like the crowds are getting younger and younger, or maybe I'm getting older. But yeah, it's easy to throw on a swimsuit top with jean shorts and going about your business and look cute, right?
Yeah.
So then, it's the swimwear turning more so into a fashion statement versus, swimwear. Yeah. Like the pool parties.
Right. Do you think that Atlanta is ingrained in the culture, is like the idea of sort of, I don't know, like flexing and showing off?
That's what I've heard.
Are you from here? She nodded yes, by the way.
Yes, I am. But that's what everyone says. But yeah, it's about, for a lot of people, it's about being seen, which is why you can't have wet hair and, mess up everything when you're at the pool party, right?
That's true. Can't go swimming. Anything else you wanted to get out there to the world?
Well,
where
check me out.
Find you?
Yeah, check me out on Instagram, Torie Square, TorieSquare on Instagram and on Facebook. The website is toriesquare.com. Have a lot of nice things coming out for 2020, including the line that I'm going to be designing. So
very cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Very exciting. All right, well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks everyone for listening. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, any suggestions, or if you or someone else you know would like to be on the next episode. And if you're thinking about starting a business, what are you waiting for? Do it already.